Hey guys, Dr. Lili here with my pocket pediatrician. I know I'm not normally shooting up here in our bedroom, but I have now converted this to a lab slash production factory because I have been trying to make some masks for our healthcare workers who are out there with coronavirus, the COVID-19, and they don't have enough personal protective equipment. And I have seen a lot of really great groups out there doing a lot of really sweet things, trying to make masks for the healthcare workers. But what's happening is a lot of these masks are a lot more similar to surgical masks. People have a lot of patterns there with ear loops and things like that. And these masks are really not covering the face well. So I've spent a few days and I've come up with a pretty good design. I'm excited about it. And one of the things we need for this design is a viral filter. And it's pretty hard to get that right now. The machines that make these are very expensive. They take a lot of money to operate. They're operating around the clock right now, trying to make more N95s for us. But outside of that, we don't have a lot of things that can filter viral particles. It's a very special material. But I had an idea the other day when I was sitting in chemo with my mom. I was talking with one of the nurses about how, personal protective gear and masks especially are really hard to come by. And I just started thinking about that I had been shooting a video about COVID in our basement and we had an air filter sitting there. And that air filter just kept coming back in my head. And all of a sudden I realized air filters can actually filter viral particles. So you have to get special kinds. Not all air filters will do that. But some people have been making different masks with different designs, and you have a removable insert for a particle filter, but people are using things like baby wipes or Wonder Under or other things that they're really not going to filter the virus. It is not just what it looks like or how thick it is. It actually has to have a certain process that happens in the processing to get the virus to come in. But if you process it correctly, you can actually take an air filter and turn it into a lot of these sheets. Now you need 2 of these sheets per mask. So that means the one air filter I'm going to show you today, I'm going to be able to make 21 masks out of a single air filter, which costs about $23. Now this process is complicated. I have lost a little bit of blood, a little bit of sweat, and maybe a tear or two over doing this. But I want to show you what I've learned so that you can do the same thing and not have to go through with the things that I've gone through, because once I figured it out, it's actually pretty simple. So I can't wait to show you these tips and tricks. I really appreciate that people are here trying to think about protection against coronavirus, especially for our healthcare workers. And you know me, I love evidence, and we would love to have some evidence-based medicine about the best way to do that. Unfortunately, people making at home has not been studied very well. There are some limited data about some things that might help and might not help. People looked at vacuum filters, they looked at using t-shirts and things like that. But as far as I can tell, this has not been studied. But I've talked to some people who are very knowledgeable, and they told me they do think this would be a good idea. Obviously, nothing is going to replace a real N95 mask, but if we had to, this is the material that we would want to use. So let's get started. This is the most important part of what we need here, and this is called the Filtrete, which is by 3M, which is also a company that makes a lot of N95s. And what we need is an air filter, and you want to get the biggest one possible because the pricing on these actually goes by the filtration level, not by how big they are. So we're going to cut this up into pieces. So we want to get the biggest size possible. I got the 20 by 25 by 1, which is pretty big, but there are bigger versions available. There is a 20 by 30. So I've ordered those. They're coming in from an online site, so hopefully I'm going to get a lot more filters pretty soon. You need to get something that is either a 1500 filtration level or a 2200 filtration level. So they have all these different types of filtretes, and the only ones that get viruses are the purple one right here, and you can see that gets bacteria and viruses, and then the blue one, which is what I got, which is the Elite, which does bacteria, viruses, cough, sneeze, debris, and then it also does candle soot, PM 2.5 air pollution, and exhaust particles. You don't have to get the blue. You can definitely get the purple, but I would recommend one of those two. And that also has this accordion shape to it. Anything less than that, like the orange level, is not going to be useful. It doesn't give you enough, and it doesn't filter viral particles. I compared them, and I'll show them to you also. Okay. So what we're going to do here is open up this filter and we're going to start making it into the filtrettes that we need to use for our masks. You absolutely need these gloves. When I tried to do this the first time, I poked myself so many times. I was bleeding all over the place, and we definitely don't want to give our healthcare workers masks full of our blood. So these kind of gloves, something leather, is an absolute must. Again, not using the sewing scissors, just something I'm going to pop off the plastic. So I got my plastic off, now I've got to get the cardboard off. So it is awkward doing this in gloves, for sure. You may want to use some scissors to help. You don't want to cut the filter itself, just kind of get under it in between. And the thing that cuts you is this metal mesh that's on here. So now we have all of the paper and plastic off. Now what we have to do is get this metal mesh off. And it will come off, but you have to be very careful. So there is a lot of glue on the edges here. And you may need to kind of start peeling up gently, just like this, but where there's a lot of glue. And one other tip is try and roll it as you get it off, because that way you're less likely to get poked. Pretty amazing. So that 20 by 25 thing actually turns into a 102-inch long sheet of filter that will filter viral particles, which is pretty awesome. I want to cut this into a bunch of pieces that are 6 by 9. I started thinking about it and doing the math, and I realized I want the accordion folds to go across the face because the masks are going to fold that way anyway, and it'd be a lot more natural. So I'm going to cut 2 strips of 9 inches, and then I'm going to have a strip on the end that is going to be 6 inches. So I'm going to have to do those the other way, but I think that'll be okay. If you bought a different size filter, you may need to do different math to figure out how to maximize the number of masks that you're going to get out of your filter. So that's 43 masks out of one single air filter. And I know everybody loves a bargain, but you definitely get what you pay for. So we have, or on the top we have the orange filter, and on the right we have the blue filter. So obviously there's a ton more material, and you can definitely see how different the quality is. So now I have the orange one on the left and the blue one on the right. This one was $8.88, and this one was about $23. So I thought maybe it would be a good idea, but once you take it apart, you obviously get way more. And you can see the stuff is thin. I couldn't even get the chicken wire stuff off of it. when you do, it just starts kind of pulling apart, and you can see it just sort of disintegrating. So absolutely don't waste your $8.88 on a cheaper one, because it's going to be completely useless. It's a completely different material and absolutely will not work. Okay, and this is the final step. So we have our masks here, and all we need to do now is write 2200 on them. The reason for that is that was the filtration level on this air filter, and there are a lot of people making a lot of different things out there. Like I said, some people are using baby wipes, some people are using, all different kinds of material. So if you took the time to do all this work to get these filters out so that people are actually protected, you want to make sure that they know that this is the real deal. People are donating all kinds of stuff. So go ahead and write 2200 or 1500 on there so that people know what they're using. I'm putting a little heart on there also, just because I want our healthcare workers to know how much we love them and how much we appreciate all the sacrifices they're making for us. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I am working really hard on making one on how to do the masks also. If we're going to put the time into making these things, we want to make a high quality product that has a better chance of helping people. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any resources on where people can get supplies, if you're a healthcare worker who needs supplies, please comment below. Also, please, if you want to be a maker, comment below, and I will connect you to some of the maker groups so that people can start producing these. If you have any design ideas or comments on what would be better, I would also love to hear from you. Please comment below, share, help people out. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for what you do, whether you're a healthcare worker or a maker. Have a great day. This is Dr. Lili with My Pocket Pediatrician. Thanks for stopping by.
When the doctor says my child has a condition, I'll learn more at My Pocket Pediatrician.